All right, very pleased to be back with Epigraph. I was having a blast with this game last time. It has been a while since episode 1, but I reviewed my notes from last episode and think I have a good sense of where we should start here. I have most of the sounds here except the shepherd's crook that I haven't resolved yet, and there's another one that's like an open box that I haven't resolved, but I think that one's like really, really uncommon. See one somewhere. This is where I want to start, though, is with this thing, because it should match this note on the right here exactly. We already got the word conquer. So what I want to do here is try to figure out what this said, assuming it matches our cuneiform Rosetta Stone on the back. And then try to figure out what these like diacritic symbols above things mean, because I don't really know what that is just yet. So if we know we can start with, the reason we can start with conquer is because it's both a word that appears here and a word that appears here. It was vabo. Wabo is in this Shori language, but vabo sounds like it should map to conquer. But the actual text here is, we will be conquered by another tribe. Others must continue our work. We fear we will be conquered by another tribe. This must not stop the great work. Speak the old tongue and contact the gods. I don't have really any other clues to any of the other words on this tablet, since the words I've discovered elsewhere don't really map onto this one. So I need to figure out what are our symbols here, because I've just kind of been ignoring them this whole time. I haven't even started to try to think about what they might mean. I wish I could zoom in a little bit more, but it doesn't look like I can. So this looks like a inverted triangle, like a half moon, a full moon. This one's like a hemisphere. Okay, but conquer has one on it. So you've got a horizontal moon and a vertical moon. Let me get my text file over here and make some notes. And then full moon. Those are only circle. I'm going to look through all the other guys here and see if there's anything else circle oriented. There's inverted triangle is the only kind of triangle we have. We also have a double inverted triangle. Okay. Looks like we have a double square here, which at least suggests to me that there will be a single square. Double square. And let me look around at the other things here. See if there's anything else that breaks our rule. We have 3 moon shapes, 2 triangle shapes, and I'm looking for a single square somewhere. None of this, nothing new there, unfortunately. Statue. Okay, still just 2 triangles, 3 moons, and a double square. Oh, there's a single square. Okay, so single square. So I wonder if the triangles and the squares are related in some way, if they share that pattern of sometimes being duplicated. Keep looking and see if there's other diacritics that I don't know about. Okay, diacritics can show up here, which is very interesting. This is a math problem. I'm guessing this is how I'm supposed to figure out what the digits are supposed to be. So the fact that there's a diacritic on only one word here is maybe interesting. Maybe I can do something with that. Does this say the same thing? It does. So what if this is like this plus this equals this? Oh, probably not equals. It's probably like makes. I'm going to put a question mark to mark that I'm not sure. I just want to see if that, because that's a common enough word that might show up elsewhere. It's not down here, right? No. Is makes, make, equal. Maybe this indicates that this is like a verb. Although I guess you wouldn't need to indicate a verb. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Okay. But no new diacritics. Feel pretty good about person, child, house, and village here. One of these might be, or even likely is, temple. Because that's one of my words here. Same diacritics everywhere. Diacritics on this one is interesting. Huh. So I know this is house. Is house... We have that elsewhere. Did that have a diacritic on it here? It doesn't. Interesting. So it has to change the meaning of it somehow. Okay. Speculation with this is that this is going to be like the cosmos. One has person and has the same diacritic on it. These are... I'm assuming these are digits because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe they just went with base 10 to make it easy, right? I think part of my problem with this game's really, really good and it's like way up my alley. It's extremely my shit, but the way it's presented, I'm like, oh, well, it could be more abstract than this, right? Like it's possible that, you know, this doesn't literally say what's in the cuneiform on the back, but like it's a video game. Obviously, it has to literally say that. Otherwise, how's the player supposed to figure it out, right? So I feel like they could do a Riven thing where it's like base 5 or something, but it's more likely they'd give me more information there. Hey, Sphera, how you doing? Okay, so if we assume that this text is literally the same as the cuneiform on the back, as close as is humanly possible, there's a couple things we can do. Unfortunately, when I guessed the word makes, it didn't show up anywhere else, I don't think. Let me look and see if it popped up somewhere without me realizing it. Oh, it did over here. It's also here. And, okay, well, that's where I put it initially. Oh, it's a whole genre. There's a bunch of really good ones. Heaven's Vault is great. Chant of Sonar is a really well structured. It's a much more video gamey puzzle game. Sethian I struggled with a bit. I mean, it shows up here as well. It shows up often enough that I think I can just guess that that's right, but I still want to know, do these always have the same diacritic above them? Maybe. All right, let's focus on trying to make sense of the diacritics. I did narrow it down to moon shape, of which there are 3, inverted triangle, of which there are 2, square, of which there are 2. So fortunately, I have one already. I have conquer has a diacritic above it, and it's one of the moon shapes. So I know conquer from two sources. I know Wabo in Shori means conquer. And the text from our Rosetta Stone in cuneiform says conquered. So maybe this communicates tense? That would track because we have 3 different moon shapes. So suppose this is past tense. Just go ahead and pre-fill that in. Can I maybe guess at what would be future or past? We saw it on the math problem, didn't we? Is that really, is it will equal? Will make? I guess that's impossible to say. It could either be present or... We know it's not past, but that's not helpful here because I need to disambiguate between present and future. Either would make sense for a math problem. Okay, so if I'm right that this is tense, then what I can do is I can look for other words. I guess it would... Tense only matters for verbs, right? So I can search the cuneiform translation for other verbs and see what the tense is and see if that matches up with the layout of the tablet. So writing these down, we've got continue is present, fear, present. Oh, we will be conquered is a little complicated, isn't it? Will be conquered. I guess there's still some ambiguity there, isn't there? Let's say will be is a distinct... Will be conquered. This might be one. Stop. Speak the old tongue and contact the gods. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, I feel like I'm on the right track. I don't want to abandon this thread just yet. Dogemu. You know we go right to left here. Where does Buko show up? All right, I'm just gonna guess here just to see if it shows up on other tablets that might make sense. Because I assume this is going to be the noun. Oh, does the double, is this singular versus plural? I bet that's right. I'm trying to think of other like language binaries, right? Okay, let's pretend like that's gods and see if that shows up on another document. Okay, gods. It says people then instead of person because it has the plural indicator. Maybe. We don't have gods down here, do we? It's Buko. Bouquet was gift. Gods again. This would be God. There's one of these, definitely looks like it's talking about talking to the gods. So I'm hoping it's, okay, we got person, gods, Pumubu. I don't know what that one is. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. Is that the same symbol from the top of this guy? No. Wait, 2E, 1A. No, it is. It is. Okay. Let me just temporarily label it. Oh, I guess this doesn't actually form a word, does it? All right, well, I'll let it be for now. Gods makes or make or made. King, person, gods. I really, really like that as gods, so I'm going to see if I can get away with keeping it as such. It doesn't show up on here, although I don't know how you would pictorially depict God's person. God's house. Heavens. Ah, okay, now that makes me pretty sure, because I was already guessing that this was going to be like planets or stars or something. Okay, and if this is a puzzle that I need to be able to translate the language to solve, then this being, if it's saying identify God's house, right? Okay, the house of the gods or whatever. So I feel pretty great about that. That seems pretty outstanding. And we can even, I'm just gonna get rid of the question mark. So speak the old tongue and contact the gods. Now I know that the language is written right to left, at least for the individual characters, but I don't know if it's like subject, verb to object yet. I don't think I've learned enough about anything else. I guess we can say this isn't past tense. If it's, let's guess that this is contact and see if it shows somewhere else. I really want to figure out the math problem. I probably can. I just need to think about the smartest way to guess this. I feel like it's most likely going to be addition. This is the same character both times, right? If this was two different characters, I'd guess like one is plus and one is minus, but what if I guess that this is plus? I don't know what this is. Maybe it's like take this number plus this number equals this, becomes this, will equal. Yeah, these are digits. Okay, sorry, I'm following too many tracks here. Okay, the word contact doesn't look like it appears anywhere else, but maybe I'm incorrect about that. Let's replace these with numbers. Oh, I can't do a number sign, can I? Yeah, I may as well just use it like that. That was just saying it's a bit more video gamey. I'm all right. So I have no idea how this is structured, but let's see. Digits in common on both lines. So a 3 here produces a 3 here. I guess the question is, are any of these 0, right? Or do they have the concept of 0? I'm going to assume that they do, just because it's a video game and that's the kind of external knowledge that they might exclude from this. We do get some, so like this shape is similar to this shape, is similar to this shape, right? this shape is similar to this shape, but can I actually like draw any conclusions from that? Probably not. I guess what I could do... What's the way to do this? I think if I'm seeing the wrong numbers here, there's no way I'm ever going to get this right. So I'm going to delete my guesses. It's for the whole digit. Okay. I want to be able to guess one thing at a time, so I'm not thinking about this too heavily here. All right, so let's think about digits that repeat on different lines. And can I use that to get something? Can I get like a 1 + 1 is 2, maybe? There's probably a way to guess at this a little bit more precisely. Now, okay, these are... If this is a 4-digit number plus a 4-digit number equals a 4-digit number, I guess that constrains the maximum size of this. This won't exceed 5 digits. So, but I guess I can't really do anything with that, because like suppose this is 5,000. That's great. It just means that this can't be 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, right? I can't do anything with that really. I can probably make more happen with a 3-digit number plus a 3-digit number equals a 4-digit number, assuming that I'm on the right track with that. In fact, if this was 999 plus 999, which is not because it's 3 different symbols, but if it was, it still would mean that the first digit of the next thing would have to start with 1, right? So is this 1? Okay, let me... It's not as helpful as I was hoping it would be to get a 1 there. Fuck. I was really excited. I'm pretty sure that's right. Assuming digits are still right to left, but I don't think they would suddenly change the rules for digits. Okay. So... Oh man, I was really hoping I would get multiple 1s up here that I could perform operations on. God damn it. Do we get the digit 1 on any other things here? We do. 1 ma. There's plus. The word plus showing up. Plus again. Okay. Makes me worried that that doesn't mean plus. Or maybe it's something else that can mean plus. My big struggle with this game is like, how abstract is the developer going? I have to assume it's not going to be abstract, right? Like these names were very literal. Makudovu, Bakujati, and Pagumaro were literal, and I got a lot of progress out of that. Needs to be conveyable. This, using not language brain, but game design brain, tells me this has to be a 3-digit number plus a 3-digit number equals a 4-digit number, which therefore must begin with 1. Otherwise, how could I disambiguate the digits at all without that, right? So if that's 1, I guess we have no way of inferring how these are ordered without slightly more information. If I could get like 1 more digit, maybe I could start to make some logical leaps. It could be clockwise, this is 2, 3, 4. It could be counterclockwise, this is 2, 3, 4. It could just completely ignore that and not give a shit in the slightest, right? I think I wrote that to see if I encountered that sequence of digits somewhere else. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything with this for now. So let's see, though, if there's some other way I can guess it in math. If this is a number that ends in 11, I guess we could come up with some. We could do this Sudoku style, right? It is, yes. Yeah, if you could like highlight all of them. Because there's like a set number of pairs, right? This could be essentially say that this digit is 9 away from this digit. The two of them added together makes 11. I don't know that I'm going to get more math information anywhere else, so I feel like I should try to solve this now, you know? It might be better for me to come back to this later. Let's look for other digits here. That one shows up quite a lot. It shows up in those locations. 3 instances of that, 3 instances of that. This is my only instance of this digit. Only instance of that. I'm right that this digit is 9 away from this digit. I guess we have that relationship here as well, don't we? Okay. So I guess we don't know that it's 9 away. I was just saying that because like 2 plus 9 could be 11, but 3 plus 8 could be 11, so it doesn't actually tell me about... If I know one, I know the other, but I don't know the distance between them. I guess these other digits could show up somewhere. Let's do... I just want to have some kind of indicator that this is a digit that's unresolved, right? That I'll see elsewhere that stands out clearly. Why can I not do 4 placeholders for that one? Really strange. Or 4 for that one. Maybe I have a limited number of ones that I can use exactly the same placeholder for. No. Fucking weird. Okay, don't think about it. It's fine. Let's just try to find all the other instances of digits to see if there's something else that can help me disambiguate them here. I feel like this is going to be a different word that means something like plus, but not plus. Because it seems to show up all over the place, and plus seems way too specific to be the thing that I'm looking for here. We don't have any digits in the cuneiform, sadly. Also try fully rereading this from the beginning. There's another instance of a digit. Wish I could use this to infer some kind of relationship here. Yeah, not too many other instances of digits elsewhere, sadly. Pretty much just on the obelisk here. Well, this is interesting. 1 and something. Is this the number of gods? This might get me another digit. Hold on, let me mark that second thing here. That's fine. All right, so I only could see that once. Fucking goddamn it. This has gods on it. And this has God's house, which I interpret to mean the heavens. And how many options do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is also God's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's suppose there are 12 gods. Given that we have two things here that mention gods that have 12 numbers around them. This one also 12. This one is only 10 though. All right. Let's guess 2. So if that is in fact 2, can I use that to try to infer the relationship between the digits here? No. 1, 2? Fuck, man. What? Ah! Is this gonna like draw a star maybe? Dude. I guess I have no idea. So if this goes to this, if it's like a geometric shape, then okay, let's do this. I have a math tablet, so I can, if I just have an intuition as to what it is, I could try it, and then we can figure out whether it works or not. If it doesn't work, it invalidates the intuition, and I can try a different thread instead of just like obsessing over getting it exactly right to start with. Hey, Bucky. So if we're drawing like a star here, and we do doot, with this line, the only line that makes sense for me to draw next would be to here. So I'm going to guess that that's 3. I don't have good evidence for it, but maybe that's enough that I can start doing the math tablet. Just tablet alpha. Unfortunately, I only have one instance of a 3 and one instance of a 2. But let's suppose that that's then 5. Because if this is the thousands digit, I guess this could be a 5 or a 6, right? If it's 3 plus 2 and then the rest of the digits. But let's guess 5 for now, because I can keep doing this until it stops making sense and then back up. Right, I guess we would call it 5 or 6. Let's look at the artifact again. 1, 2, 3. I'd have to find where 4 is and then skip to 5 or 6. Yeah, I guess I need, because this could be 5 or 6. I need to break that first. Do I have enough guesses to start trying to do some math here? That's a lot of instances of 5s. I do like, can I put like an X? Okay. Let's say 2x, 5x. For x's, I don't know. 3, 1, 5x is actually pretty good. Equals 5x, 1, 1. Keep plugging this in as being a 5xx plus no fucking idea equals 1xxx. So I guess if this is 5, that constrains this digit, right? Because if this is 500 and something, this can't be 100 and something. There's no way to possibly get to 1,000. It can't be 2. I guess we already know it's not 1. We already know it's not 2 because we know, I'm pretty sure we know 1, 2. I'm positive on 1, or as close to positive as I can be. I'm pretty sure on 2, and 3 is a wild guess that hasn't been proven wrong yet. Well, let's carry on with this manner of thinking. So not 1, not 2, not 3. Could be 4 if this was like 560 plus 440. So that doesn't actually tell me anything, because based on my prior guesses, I already assumed that this wasn't 1, 2, or 3. It just has to be a digit greater than 4. Like, I could put a plus sign. Can I do a greater than sign? Oh, that's great. Okay. Something greater than 4. $513 plus something in 2 ends in 11. I need to make sure I don't read this backwards. This is like the actual digit. 2x, 5x, 3, 1, 5x. I'm gonna get rid of the 06. It could still be 6, but let's just roll with 5 for now. Okay, so this is interesting. If this is 5, then these two digits when we add them together, it has the effect of increasing this number, but not this number, which means that this one plus this one is 11, and I don't have to worry about, I think I already inferred that earlier, but all right, well, let's work off of digits that are available to us. If 1, 2, and 3 are not available to us for either of these digits, right? So If neither of them are 1, then neither of them are 10, because 10 could be a digit. I guess that would be annoying if you encoded 10 into a single glyph, but it could be the case. If neither of them are 2, then neither of them are 9, right? If neither of them are 3, although that's my weakest guess so far, then neither of them are 8. So they could be 7 and 4, but they can't be 5 and 6 if this is 5. So they must be 7 and 4. Cries and Kanchi. That's pretty good. That's pretty good if that's correct. Okay. So, where else? Let me go back, look for other instances of, now that, okay, we got 7 here. Actually, we've got the 704 and the 704 back to back, which is suspicious, but I don't think I have, okay, let's read this slowly. No luck deciphering the Nari language. May not be enough material in the 7 artifacts recovered so far. This could be self-referential on the artifacts, I guess. That's my only other indication of a digit. Brief mentions of the Nari in ancient Roman and Greek texts. 2 kings, a place called Pagamaru. Exciting. Could this be a reset stone? Stop the great work. Speak the old tongue and contact the gods. None of the Shori words are digits, right? Sadly. Or a word that we could infer digit from. I don't think so. So I don't know why 4 would show up here. I guess I could see why 7 would show up, but... no digits here. Oh, interesting. I didn't catch that plus was on here. So if that's not plus... if this contact gods... speak the old tongue and contact the gods? I like it as and, because I think you could say that would make sense. Where's their math here? What if this is and? Because that would explain its appearance everywhere else. Like something and something makes, like something and something makes something, right? Yeah, I like that much better than plus. Let's see what else. There are places where we have that. Have plus show up here somewhere? No. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. I don't know that it's going to necessarily... I mean, if I went with plus, it's semantically similar, right? So 1, 7, 1's 4. I feel like since there are so few digits elsewhere, I could keep tugging on this thread, but it's not going to do anything for me other than, I think the 12 gods reveal was the most useful thing I could get out of that, so I could come back to this later. Rather continue to be making progress than staring at that for a while, but we're pretty close with the number of guesses I have now. So we say that's 7. Or it could be the other way around. Well, I guess if I have this fully guessed, then I can collapse this one, right? So 3154, or it's 3157. I guess if those are transposed, that doesn't actually give me the information I want, right? Because this doesn't show up multiple times in here. This shows up multiple times on here, so that could help me to disambiguate it in a moment. So if I go with the guess up here that that's 4, let's see. Then this must be 7. 7 plus 7 is 14, which would make sense. Or it would at least be a way for me to end with a 4 here. But I guess we don't know that we have another 5. This would have to be, one of these would have to be 0, right? I guess pictographically it would make sense for that to be 0. But that's a even bigger leap than this thing being 3 was. Otherwise, the solution to this digit fucks up the answer here. But we could maybe resolve the other way around if we said that these were transposed and that this is 4 and this is 7. 4 plus 4 would not get me this digit again. So I think it being 7, let's just go ahead and write it in. Like I said, if it's wrong, I can always fix it later. I'm trying to do this like Sudoku style and not bifurcate and just like brute force guess over and over. That wouldn't be fun for me. Oh no, I got that backwards. This is 7. This is 4 in my theory. So this is XX7. This is 5x7. It's 1, 5x11, 2x57. What digits do I have accounted for? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I haven't accounted for 6, 7. I haven't accounted for 8, 9, or 0. Let's look at this guy again here. 1. I guess now we can, if we know that we already have 4 and 5 accounted for, now this is greater than 6. But I guess it's technically 6, 8, or 0, or 9 or 0. Oh, but I can't fit 0 on there. Fuck. Let's just go ahead and fill this in as 2, because so far nothing is broken from that. And fill this in as 3, because nothing is broken yet. And fill this in as 5. Also could be 6, 8, 9. That's probably 0. I tried doing strokes before and it didn't get me anywhere. This is 1 stroke, right? This is 2 strokes. This is probably more than 3 strokes, so that falls apart immediately. And this is definitely 1, 2 strokes, so you abandon strokes as your indicator. I can use arbitrary labels, there's a limit to their string length. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're doing a star here. Probably 6 question mark. 6. And then we already had 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Oh, I don't like that though. No, let's not assume that that's 6. We can plug it in as 6, 8, 9 though as a possibility. Let's make a pictographic leap and guess this is 0. And see if that makes sense. So if this is 07, this is 1404. This is 5. 5 something plus 900. This is a 9. Unless if these two things add up to a value that's too high, right? Let's break it up a little bit here. So let's minimize everything. If we minimize, and this is 5, 6, 7, and this would have to be 807. That's 1374. If this is 5 eighths, now I'm brute forcing, which I don't want to do. I wanted to see if I could like constrain it somehow. Let's start with this being the minimum one, so it's not pure brute force. 607 plus 587 is much too small to get to 1400. I don't think it's... Let's minimize this and maximize this. So 607 plus 597 is 1204. So this cannot be 6. It has to be either 8 or 9. Right? Can it be 8? If this is 8, 807 plus... Let's make that as large as possible. 597 is 1404. Okay, so that's probably right, but let's check the other option. 8, if it's 907, and then let's minimize the other one, plus 567 is 1474 is too large. So this 9 is too big, no matter what, and 6 was too small, so this must be 8. Great, okay. I think we can get the rest of this now. So 1404, I just got this, but minus 807 means this is 5, this is a 9. All right, and now by process of elimination, I only have one digit that's not accounted for, and that's a 6, so this has to be a 6, 2657. Yeah, basically did this like it was Sudoku, starting from a single digit. This is really cool to like hide what's essentially a Sudoku puzzle in a translation game. I imagine you could just cheat this and just try a bunch of combinations until you get it to work, but I wanted to do it this way of using the other information that I had. I did have to make a couple logical leaps, like guessing at this being a 3. I think that guessing that being a 3 was like a pure guess. I don't think there's actually like a star shape that I can draw on this, unfortunately. Because if we did, it's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to 7 breaks it, doesn't it? Yeah. I guess I could try to draw it and see if it's some other kind of shape, but recognizable shape. But let me just do a quick sanity check. 3154 plus 2657 is 5811. And 597 plus 807 is 1404. And that seems consistent. So we don't have a lot of appearances of the digits elsewhere. I guess now I can test it, right? This is 267, 198. Do they want me to add those again? It's 465. I guess we don't know inner versus outer, but we can try a bunch of things here. I wonder if the whole puzzle needs to be solved before it'll give me anything here. Let's try doing it the other way around. So 4... Can't say that those are definitely added together, right? Because we don't have a word here saying what they want us to do with this. Yeah, it would be nice to have some color that would... More ways to notate this thing would be fantastic. Even like another tab where I could just like have like a little table with notes and stuff would be fantastic. What if we're subtracting them? Because we could. Oh, that's 69 though, which would require one to be a 0. Yeah, I'm guessing I need to know, maybe I need to have all of these solved before I can plug something in here. Or maybe it's like rotations. There could be all sorts of things that this could still be before I'm allowed to fuck with it. Okay. So the only other place where I have digits showing up is the obelisk, right? 7, 4, 12. Let me write in the word 12, otherwise I'm going to go crazy. 4. Okay. Are we done with this? 4, 7, gift gods. All right, let's get back on this guy. I'm still not sure about subject, verb, object. We do have singular versus plural here. Contact the gods. Tongue, probably, right? Let's do question mark for that. Other singular and plural nouns. Language, maybe? Does this have... No, that's not the thing at the top. Let's count nouns. Others... Work. Tribe. Let me just start... I'm gonna... Just... This will help me to keep track of shit. Well, this wouldn't be others. Work shows up twice, singular in both cases, so let's say that that's work. Try. This shows up twice, once with a single inverted triangle diacritic and once with a double square diacritic, but it's the same word in both cases. It could be that others and tribe are the same thing. Okay. Have I seen one of these before? What's the thing? Yeah. Math word. Does that show up in a bunch of other places? I was really hoping to see that show up all over the place. Did that show up anywhere else other than here? Oh, there it is again. Okay. It's indicated as singular. Oh wait, no, it's not. This is... Fuck, man. I don't think I know enough about I like this as a verb. I like this as and. What if we said this was this? Because the word this shows up over here. And it's not unreasonable if that were true. We need to look for, what if this is speak? Put a question in front of this because I'm not sure about it. Speak come up anywhere else? Oh, is this like the gods gave us the gift of language kind of a thing? Speak. Okay. I like it saying the gods gave us the gift of language, but I don't think I know enough to be able to... Oh. Person gods speak. So the person who speaks to the gods, right? Priest, essentially. Kings, this one is. Is this King of Kings? Such a common phrase, right? It seems like it's a complicated word to be the word of, but let's guess of and see if that tracks elsewhere. You can always delete these later. Okay, I'm not seeing as many ofs as I was hoping for. Does the word of even show up over here? It could also be like apostrophe S, right? No in Japanese. God, I want that to be of, but oh wait, here we go. Child of Makudovu. That would make sense. Something of something. The tongue of the gods, perhaps. The idea of the word of being linguistically kind of complicated is an interesting idea. It's the only thing that's drawing me away from interpreting that as meaning of. But I don't know what other phrase would have king word kings, right? Okay. I feel okay putting that as of for now. I have a question on it, so I'm not sure, but... This is where I should be doing most of my work here. I keep getting distracted. Others must continue our work. Got too many verbs here at the end. Because I have no idea how adjectives are handled here. I know all about verbs and nouns. we encounter... Problem, so I got this as gods because it's our only plural noun other than others/tribe. Although I'm not yet sure what the difference is between double square and double triangle. So we could be going, is it top to bottom, right to left? It's like the top to bottom, right to left, and is it subject, verb to object? I still don't think I know enough yet to know the sentence structure. I guess I should guess other stuff in this general area just to start getting words down. Tongue. Conquered. Other tribe. So this is will be. Hoping I'm going to get other useful words from over here, but I don't think any of them have come up in a minute here. Don't think we know we. Can we get we somehow here? Conquer is my only word in common with any of this shit. Right. Where else do I have the word? I think the word tongue comes up here when we talk about it being the gift of the gods. I think we don't want to say tongue. I think we want to say language. That makes more sense to me. Other tribe language. It's not gift of language. Buku. Or buku. Okay, it's not like power. Nothing to do with that. It was definitely helpful to have a break here because it kind of broke my... It made me start over, essentially, without getting stuck down the same rabbit hole the whole time. Speak this something, something, something. Okay. Village, child, person. This is probably sky. I think I tried to guess at this earlier. Fowena. Kuvu. It seems too different. Why would they give me sky too, right? I guess this was temple. Let's put a question on it and guess temple. Let's see if it comes up somewhere else. Like with the guy who speaks to the gods. Okay, well that, yeah. That would track. I was hoping to see temple on there, I guess not. Okay, maybe it's on the obelisk though. Well, temple only shows up twice in the entire thing, so maybe I can't really roll with that. Clear that. Don't think this is going to end up being sky, because I think the sounds aren't right. Also, if this were temple, that doesn't match at all, right? Let me look at my future Marstead notes. One of these like hook symbols is definitely ja, and the other one is a different sound that I speculated was sha, because we see sha everywhere. Right, ju. So this is ja, and this could be shu. So that doesn't get me any 3-letter sounds. Okay. Vuku, does that get me anything that's 3? No. I have a pretty limited number of 3-character sounds, so I could try to track all of those down. An unknown sound. I feel like I need to go ahead and just anytime I have left facing, I should just switch it to SH. Let's just, for now, Kasha. Just call that Shu for now. Shu isn't among my options here. It's left facing, it's SH. Okay. Just looking for the other instances of that. Show. Show, row, show. Don't have anything helpful with that. Shuju. That could be power, but okay. Shubo. Could try to find Sheka. It's wise. I think I have encountered She around. I think Ka has remained linguistically intact. I thought I saw it a second ago, actually. Well, I guess I could turn into this, though. I'm wondering which words we're gonna... Like, all of these gonna get mapped, or are some of them just not gonna show up at all, right? Oh, here's Sheka. Here we go. Wise. Makes me pretty pleased with left this being SH. Because it's one of the sounds I knew to expect but hadn't found anywhere else. Wise people... Oh yeah, these are wise men visiting the king, aren't they? Okay, yeah, that's great. Fantastic. I have another word. It took a minute, but I don't know if it's going to show up anywhere else, though. It might actually be completely fucking useless. Oh, here we go. Wise person something. Wise man? I just want to see if I can find out this word that's associated with the wise men somewhere else, because this is probably another puzzle. Well, these are all puzzles, but... Speak gods... Oh, here we go again. Okay. Sound on this is me something, which doesn't correspond to any of the sounds that I have from Shori, sadly. Nowhere on there. Okay, so sadly it only comes up in one other place, so I don't think I can do too much with that, actually. Let me go ahead and kill the mention of it. Yeah, I'd love to do colors for stuff where it's like, okay, I understand the, like, this shows up as a relative meaning with this other word, and then color all the text associated with that, but I can't, sadly. So I got the word wise. That's fantastic. Let's keep going down this list of words. We know none of them are going to appear on here because conquer is the one we already got. So we could try to do Kono. Don't think we've had any sounds from that get linguistically destroyed. And that means hide. It would be a verb. So I can try to look for the moon symbol. I don't know who here would be hiding, though, right? Vuja. This could be... Woja could become Vuja, and that could be fight, but I don't think I have enough information to make that assumption here. Kumo... I don't think I can do anything with... I could see no becoming mo and vice versa, but for ko to become ku, I don't think we've had anything where like both sounds have transformed, right? Wish I could figure out how adjectives are supposed to work. Oh, wait, we got language of the gods makes equals Gofu. I feel like we've seen this elsewhere. Just for when I encounter Govu elsewhere. Shu something bay. Doesn't really go with anything else. Oh, there it is again. This thing. Govu language gods. Kuvu probably doesn't get me anything. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not going to get the word hide, like, at all, because I don't know how it could possibly be relevant to the thing that I'm working on. So let's move on from that for now. Maybe, okay, gift. Look for Fowa as power. We got tablet beta was village was Goja. Yeah, we already got that. From that I was able to get house. I feel like we're going to talk about power. It's going to be on here somewhere. So power is fowa. And it's probably... Wa can also become va. This could be power. It shows up twice here. I really think I need to spend more time on the cuneiform thing, but I feel like I need to have a breakthrough on adjectives and just general sentence structure. I feel like that's the only place I'm going to get a breakthrough on sentence structure, because it's the place where I have the most information, but Jowo is stone. I like this as stone. It is both sounds changing, but I can look elsewhere and see if that tracks. Does Kuvu get me anything? No. Wouldn't have stone on here because it doesn't show up in the cuneiform. Yeah, if it's stone, I don't have enough other pieces of information for that to help me get anything done, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that as a guess for now. Let's try to focus on this. Really don't have the best way to go about this, but can keep going down from the bottom, I guess. Why do I think this is work? Because it shows up twice. Do I have any other recurring others? I guess that could be work, right? I still have this as a placeholder number. I don't know what sound this is supposed to make. The only consonant sound I don't have accounted for from among the Shori words is N, now that I've presumably accounted for SH. So let's temporarily fill this in as N. See if that produces anything, because we have some N's over here. We've got Fowena. Maybe that'll help me find sky. Yeah, because if that's na, I can look for... something that ends in there's a couple places I expect to encounter the word sky. Where else do we get? We have ends in no, starts with no. Looking for ends with na to try to find sky here. Like, sky's got to be on this one, right? Like, come on, right? Literally, it's a picture of the sky there. Owena. Pagomaru. Speak. There's like 4 different places where I expect to see the word sky, and fucking hell. And nothing really ending in na. This one, yeah, that's actually, I don't know if I know what that one is. That's still a, maybe I shouldn't assume that this is na then. I forgot I had an open box in this one. I thought I had a third thing that I had not collapsed yet. Because we had right-facing, or left-facing ja, which I interpreted was sh. And then we had ends unaccounted for, this like shepherd's crook, and this open box is unaccounted for. Am I just not going to get sky? Maybe sky has mutated so much that I can't get it purely from sounds. Okay. Let's get back to this thing. Gotta keep working. I keep getting pulled away from this to try to learn stuff elsewhere. All right, so I feel pretty good about this being work. It's a singular noun that appears twice in the translated text, right? The question is, still have no idea how to get sentence structure. Let's focus really hard on okay. I don't know adjectives. I don't know how to do adjectives. I know nouns and verbs, probably. There are a couple things where, like, does that count as a noun and a verb is a little bit ambiguous, but let's try to look for words that are definitely not a noun or a verb, and then try to guess where they might go as a result. So what if we said this is must? Does must show up twice? It does, and that looks like the placement is correct. I probably should have noticed that forever ago. So let's say continue. But, like, what order am I reading this in, right? What's this first line mean? If it's not... There's some crazy fucking shit with the sentence structure that my brain is not wrapping its head around right now. And the right left is definitely making it hard for me to, like, visualize it. Let's keep going here. I still haven't gotten, I'm pretty sure that this must be past tense, but I haven't disambiguated future versus present. Is there a word in here which is 100% present tense versus future, or vice versa? I feel like the pure circle just pictographically meaning present tense would track for me. That would make sense. We will be conquered by another tribe. Stop. I feel like that's not a good place for stop to go. And how do you, what's your negator word? How do you say not stop, right? It makes sense to me that this is past tense and this is future tense on the argument that we're talking about doing things in the future, right? Others must continue later. We, I guess, fear. We are fearing, right? Let me guess that this is fearing. We fear. Oh, wait. We fear we. Is we showing up twice on both sides of that word. So if this is we are fearing we will be. I guess will be. This would be, it's a conjugation of is, right? Future is, will be. We fearing we will be conquered, and then this then must be by others / tribe. Oh, but then by is a really weird word. Okay. I'm going to put that as question by, and I guess I can put this as question is. But that seems pretty, the is going to show up all over the fucking place, right? Juva. At least it had better show up all over the place. Most commonly used verb in any language. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Unless if that's not will be, and I've got something like super wrong here. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's enough to make me think that that's not is, but I don't know what else it could possibly be. I mean, unless if it's specifically will be, right? But I don't get too... Let's do question will be / is. It would be very mean for there to be one instance of a non-implied is, right? That's totally fine if if is always implied, but don't give me one example of it not being implied and being explicit. It makes it much harder for me. Is this our then? Okay. We assume this is still by. Otherwise, I don't really have a way to explain why this is there. Does our show up somewhere else? Pictorially, I like, if that is our, I like that it looks like our, for lack of a better word, but... keep thinking I'm getting like a huge breakthrough, and then it like gets me almost nothing. God's house. Yeah, I would like to be able to double click on a word and have it just like glowing highlight, and so I can quickly jump to all the location. Even if it just made like there be a dot up here that's glowing yellow, like this word appears somewhere on this this board, right? I still haven't figured out adjectives. How do we get great, right? Something I don't know. So I guess I could probably assume great is near the word work. I think unfortunately too, I keep getting confused on the top to bottom, left to right in sentence structure, because like this seems like it's reading like speak the language and contact the gods, right? So it's like, yes, it's right to left, but it's still top to bottom. Language speak and gods contact. What if we assume that it's always... Well... I do like this as we. I guess I can't confirm it for certain, but the fact that it's on both sides of the word that I assume is present tense there is fearful. Fearing will be conquered by others. Must. Is this not? No, I can't confirm that, but this is my only other verb that I need to confirm, right? Stop. And we have to find great somewhere. I accounted for all the verbs. Yeah. So I have a noun that I'm missing. Another tribe. We fearing we will be conquered by tribe modifier another. I guess it's another versus many other tribes, so maybe this can also indicate plural on adjectives. Let me guess this is another. I have to put stuff in, right? Because I feel like that's the problem, is I keep wanting to make sure I'm certain before I start guessing something. I think I have to put guesses in and then start looking around elsewhere to see if that causes something else to cease to make sense or if it fits. You know what I mean? Let's guess that this is, I'm going to put a triple question mark, not, because I feel like we're going to need a negator all over the place, but I just said that about is, and then couldn't find the word is anywhere. Like boo in Mandarin Chinese. Oh, there's another again. There's not. Assuming that that is in fact not. Puku. Spokesperson to the gods. Other language. You know, it just occurred to me that there are two secret extra words in this document. There's Nari and Shori, and I should look for them somewhere on the board here. Like here, for instance. But that's E, not I. I guess, what was my definition of E versus I? It was about whether or not the dot was bound in the character. Do I have an example of a dot that's not bound in the character? Like an enclosed dot. Another possibility now looking closer here is that what was originally E has become I, and that E and I are not distinct vowel sounds anymore. For some reason, I assumed that E and I were distinct vowel sounds, and it was based on whether or not the dot was enclosed in the character, but that might not exist anywhere, and I may have made that up. So I'm just searching all the characters here to see if we have such a enclosed dot as a distinct character. Here we do on me. But yeah, like that doesn't count as enclosed, right? What if, I guess the new theory is, what if every single dot is an I sound and there is no E sound and the E sound is gone? Or I guess vice versa. Is the fact that I'm tracking those as separate vowel sounds causing problems for me? Maybe. Yeah, because I guess this is another one that is technically an enclosed dot versus an unenclosed dot. All right. All right, I gotta stop getting distracted. I do want to look for Nari somewhere. Let's do this. Let's look for Shori and Nari. And let's assume that RE and RI are the same sound, whether I've marked them as such or not, right? Show row. I really like that show row show. Okay, I didn't see anything there. It wouldn't be on that. Looking for Ray or Re at the end of... Okay. Now, what if this is What if this is Nari? Have I collapsed? Do I have an R sound? Is that what I'm missing for the open box character? R sounds are not from among my examples here, but Shori and Nari probably are R sounds, right? Like, and I don't know what else would... I guess we have row. Where did I get that from? Jowo, Wojo, Wabo, Toke, Sheka. Where the fuck did I get that from past me? Oh, Pago Maru. Yeah, okay. Didn't invent that. So, no, that's... This thing that I'm calling the open box has been on the board the whole time, but I think I just since I only had an R sound in Pago Maru, I didn't identify it as a shape that I had already covered, and the dot made this confusing. So this is definitely R. That's... So, in fact, I think this is Shori. Which means I probably have Nari now. Yeah. Mina is. Okay, and then I had somewhere else where I had this unidentified open box character that actually hasn't been unidentified. There's Nari again. Okay, okay. All right. Getting somewhere. I don't think that's really going to collapse too much sound-wise. There's nothing else in here that's like a useful sound, and no R sounds anywhere. Oh, sorry, Rorak, I just saw your point. Have I decided what the square diacritic now? No, I haven't. I assume it still has to do with... Like, so here it's... Others must continue our work. We fear we'll be conquered by another tribe. So why would one of those collapse into others and one would collapse into tribe? I don't know, but it's the same character, and the noun tribe and the noun others, one of them being plural and one of them being not, just makes sense to me as being the same word, because I can't see any other words that would, any other nouns that would show up in the same place there. So I have no idea what the square means. There are like barely any instances of the square diacritic. So I have zero guess as to what to do with that. Just establish what this guy was. That's ni, ro-ni. I think I'm going to go through, in any instances of an E sound, I'm going to change to an I. I think they're the same sound everywhere. I guess I could change it to VI/VE or whatever, but I'm trying to track it carefully. That's Ra. Ravoko. I think I just assumed that the dots, there had to be all of the vowels, and I don't think that that's actually true. And that I think expecting that E and I are always going to be different sounds is causing me problems. I'm trying to interpret what any of this stuff means, right? Ibija instead of Fabeja. Yeah, I guess I could just pick one. It could always be I or always be E. It doesn't really matter. I don't think I'm going to be tested on what these sound like at the end of the day, right? The sounds are just helping me to connect to some of these words, but I think I just have to pick a convention so that I stop confusing myself. Shika is wise. Yeah, that tracks. Okay, I think I fixed all my E's versus I's here. Looks like it. The dot always means it's a single vowel that works much better. Okay. Back to this thing. Fucking hell, man. All right, so what am I definitely missing here? I'm definitely missing great somewhere. And there's an extra word. Others must continue our work. We fear we will be conquered by another tribe. This must not stop the great work. Speak the old tongue. Oh, the word old is I'm missing. Old language speak. Let's just say this is great. And let's put question marks on basically all of these. Let's see, does this follow some kind of rule that I can figure out? Okay, so our work by others must continue. We are fearing, or we fear that we will be conquered by tribes another, you know. So is another our first kind of effective adjective? Our work by others must be continued. Must continue in the future. We fear we will be conquered. So let's say adjectives follow the noun. Maybe that's gonna save. Maybe that's why I've been so fucking confused this whole time on sentence structure, is that it's like still subject, verb, object, but like the adjective follows the noun, and my brain hasn't been prepared for that. This must not. Fuck. But now it's great work. Ah. It should be work great in that case, right? Fuck, dog. Conquered. Tribe another. Must not great work stop. Must not. But that has to be work, because work shows up twice. So it's not like this is work and this is great in order to allow for that. So there's some other fuck shit going on. There's some kind of way that adjectives are variable based on other cues in the sentence that is very difficult to intuit. Stop. Old language speak and the gods contact. I don't feel confident about this at all, but at least I have a bunch of words. Oh, Nari. Okay, all right. Others. Yeah. Okay, that feels pretty good. Cool. Are there any other secret words in here? Nari, Shori, 7, I think showing up is important. 7 artifacts. Could I go find the instance of the word 7? Is this artifacts then? Artifacts, because it is a plural. Another person, something. Could be like 4 sides of the artifact, right? Because a lot of the artifacts have 4 sides. Okay, so great gift of language. The great is on the other side of gift here. Although it could be great language, I guess, right? Because like the gods, this is a noun. It's a past tense noun. Let's say it's bestowed. You would think that the word gift would be linguistically similar to the word gave or bestowed, right? But it's not. It might not be. Oh, no worries, Chaos. Oh, thank you very much. It's very cool of you. I will turn off the notifications after the first one. Very, very cool of you, Chaos. Thank you so much. And anyone who got a sub, if you would like access to subblock, shoot me a whisper or a Discord DM and I can hook you up. Usually that goes to people who are lurking in chat, though. Yeah, thank you so much, Chaos. Merry Christmas. Thanks. Appreciate that. Turn that off temporarily so it doesn't fire 10 times in a row. One Ma gods. One Ma. Is that like a counting word, like in Chinese? One god. Accounting word for deities, I guess. Jukati. This isn't actually fearing, it's just fear. And then this, I wish I could like specify what the tense is. Weird. Others language, something bestowed. I feel like we're getting somewhere here. But also I feel like I'm not getting anywhere at all. The King of Kings seems good. Oh, Great King, Bakuzadi, child of Makudovu. So that, I'm almost positive great is correct. Yeah, let's just lock that in. Let's say this is definitely of, and we're pretty sure this is child from the other thing. We can lock that in. Okay, all right. Yeah, this is why I think it's really important to just fill stuff in whether you're sure or not, because then you can look at another thing and be like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. That must have been right the whole time. Future speak. Speaker to the gods, basically. Okay. Oh fuck, we're about at time. I gotta start leaving future Marstead notes. So future Marstead, I think we've solved a lot of this. I'll try to make some notes after stream before we pop on our drive down to Albuquerque. This means future tense, pretty sure about that. This means past tense, positive about that. This means present tense, pretty sure about that. This means plural. This means singular. This probably also means plural, but there's some kind of distinction. Maybe it interfaces with the noun order or the adjective order or something, but I haven't figured out what the difference is between a inverted triangle and a square. There are very few squares, so it's difficult to tell. And obviously you can get verbs versus nouns based on the presence or lack thereof of inverted triangles and squares. Yeah, I really like it. It's really good. It's a lot more freeform, but there's definitely like a break-in, like you're supposed to break in with the names here, Makudovu, Bakuzadi, and Pagomaru. You've recently collapsed the E and I sounds into the same vowel sound. That seems correct. So anytime there's a dot, it's always either E or I, and if you see E or I appear down here, it's both. Right, so you've written it as I, it's probably actually E, or it doesn't matter. All that matters is that there's not two different vowel sounds. We're pretty sure about that. That's how we ended up on Shori and Nari. But you kind of just have to go through these, look for the ones that you've guessed at. Try to collapse when you have a question mark. That means you're not sure. Like recently, we were pretty sure we were right about great from getting great king, whatever. So try to remove the question marks. If it makes sense in multiple locations, delete it to say that you're pretty sure there. Yeah, wise person, king, or these are wise men actually, bestowed something, another language. Huh. I'm pretty sure on bestowed because it talks about the gods giving the gift of language. We want to figure out what this is, Govu. It shows up all over the place. This is the Nari. These are maybe different languages. Okay. Pretty sure on the math here, this might not be technically accurate, but it's useful. That's going to come up a lot of the time with language, right? It's like you can have a word that might not technically be right, but it's enough for you to perform operations with it elsewhere. So I think this meaning this probably isn't the literal translation of Roni, but it's close enough that you can do stuff with it on other tablets. Like speak this something, 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 who the fuck knows. That being artifacts is interesting. So the way we got artifacts, maybe that's a good break-in for you to start next time. I'm guessing artifacts because of the appearance of the number 7 here. Somewhere. Yeah. 7 artifacts, but there's also 4 and 7, right? So that possibly isn't referring to that. Could also be saying like 7 stars. 7 planets is a good guess. Let's guess maybe one of those, because we already were guessing planets earlier, and we were saying on the artifact here you're supposed to guess God's house. Unfortunately, there's 12 symbols here, so that being 4, 7 is kind of weird, but it could either be artifacts, it could be planets. This being stars makes more sense because of this, right? If this is stars here instead of artifacts, so 7 stars, something, something, something. Probably progress with stars rather than artifacts in that case. And then, yeah, this is puzzle box is the way this is going to close out. So this is performing some kind of math operation. Actually, I didn't try just entering 267. Let me... Are there like 2 things I have to do here? Try doing it the other way where this is 2... That would be 6 no matter what. What if this is 2 and this is 7? No, I figured this was going to be like a math operation of some kind and we don't know what it is yet. But you're going to have to like figure out a code for each of these tabs here. Ancient God? Oh, is this like the oldest god? Old god old. Usually if you duplicate a adjective like this, it implies an intensifier, right? So like I would read this to be one of these these are the gods. One of them is the oldest god. It's the OG. So you could probably figure that one out. Maybe that's a good place to start. And the fact that there's an adjective on both sides of a noun makes a lot of sense because you've really been struggling with figuring out whether the noun is supposed to precede or follow the noun. And if it can be both, maybe if it's both, it means something different, like it intensifies it or whatever. That's really, really, really helpful information. Well, thank you, Chaos. Really cool of you. Yeah, Saphira, if you end up wanting to opt into Subblock, just hit me a Twitch Whisper or Discord DM with a game you'd like to see me play, or you'll just bank the time automatically. This game rules. I really like it. We probably aren't going to beat it in an hour, so if you don't mind keeping it on another 2-hour Subblock, K5 Josh, just to give us time to finish, I'd appreciate it. But I'm looking forward to playing more Epigraph. It's really, really cool and well structured. I'd like it to have a few more quality of life improvements in terms of note taking, but nothing that's like a huge problem.